And I'm starting to think that my grandma's in trouble.
Who's ready to celebrate?
I'm gonna make sure you don't go down.
To our future.
General Hospital.
Port Charles woke to scandal before the sun even rose. By 7 a.m., every phone in town buzzed with the same explosive headline. Martin files sealed evidence against Drew. Claims of coercion and emotional manipulation rock the case. And at the center of it all stood Willow, pale, shaken, and suddenly recast from suspect to survivor. But Port Charles knew better than to accept a single narrative, because Willow had secrets too. The revelation began in Martin's office the night before the filing. Willow sat rigid on the sofa, hands clasped so tightly her fingers ached. The lamp cast a warm glow across shelves of legal volumes, but nothing softened the dread curling in her stomach. Martin closed the folder he'd been reviewing. "If I submit this, everything changes." Her voice barely emerged. "I know." "It will expose him," he said carefully, "but it will also expose you." She swallowed. "I deserve that." He studied her. "That's not how justice works." "No," she whispered, "but it's how truth works." Martin sighed, then slid the folder across the table. "Then read it again, all of it, because once this goes public, there's no containment." Willow opened the file. Texts, emails, audio transcripts, psychological assessments, witness statements, a map of two people locked in a destructive orbit. Half the evidence showed Drew's escalating control, the pressure, the veiled warnings, the insistence that only he understood her. The other half showed Willow's unraveling, desperate messages, emotional outbursts, contradictions, and calculated silences. Two shadows entwined. Her throat tightened. "We were poisoned together." Martin didn't disagree, but the court must determine who wielded power. She looked up. "What if we both did?" He met her gaze steadily. "Then we show that. But coercion matters more when imbalance exists." She nodded slowly. There was imbalance. He leaned forward. "Willow, I need clarity. Did Drew ever intend harm?" She closed her eyes. "No, he thought he was protecting me." "And did his protection become control?" "Yes." The word echoed. Martin tapped the file. "Then this goes in tomorrow." She inhaled shakily. "Do it." The filing detonated Port Charles. By noon, everyone had chosen sides. Some saw Drew as a manipulator revealed. Others saw Willow as unstable and vindictive. Most saw tragedy. Drew learned of the filing in the worst possible way, blindsided by reporters outside Aurora. "Mr. Kane, do you deny coercing Willow? Did you threaten her reputation? Is there audio evidence?" He froze only a fraction of a second, but cameras caught it. His jaw tightened. "I will not discuss private matters being distorted for spectacle." "Are you denying the recordings exist?" His eyes hardened. "I am denying the interpretation." Then he walked inside, shoulders rigid. Upstairs in his office, the door shut with finality. He stood staring at the city skyline, pulse pounding. Not anger first, hurt, a deep personal rupture. She used it. The thought cut deepest, not because of legality, but intimacy. Those recordings were for nights when walls were down, when he believed he was the only one she trusted. Now they were evidence. His phone buzzed. Martin's name. He ignored it. Then another call. Willow. He stared at the screen a long moment before answering. Silence hung between them. Finally she spoke. "You saw." "Yes." Her voice trembled. "I didn't want you to find out like that."
You preferred I hear in court? His tone stayed controlled, which was worse. "I wanted you to stop. I did nothing illegal." "I know." That answer caught him off guard. "Then why?" she inhaled. Because legal doesn't mean harmless. The word struck. He exhaled slowly. You recorded me. I was losing my sense of reality, she said. I needed proof of what I felt. You needed leverage. No, she whispered. I needed sanity. He paced once across the room. You're presenting me as dangerous. I'm presenting what happened. You pushed too, he said. You escalated every conflict. You demanded reassurance constantly. You blurred boundaries. I know. That stopped him. I know, she repeated. I'm not innocent. Silence. He sank into his chair, tension draining into exhaustion. Then what do you want from this? Space, she said. Truth, and an end to the cycle. He rubbed his temple. You think filing against me ends it? I think hiding it didn't. He closed his eyes, because part of him recognized the pattern she meant, the loop they'd never escaped, her fear triggering his control triggering her fear. I cared about you, he said quietly. I know. I tried to stabilize you. I know. And you still felt trapped. Yes. He exhaled. Then maybe we both failed. Tears slid down her cheek. Yes. Neither spoke for a long moment. Finally, he said, I won't fight to destroy you. She choked. I never wanted to destroy you. I know, he said again, but you might. The call ended with no resolution, only ache. Court convened 2 days later under suffocating tension. Martin presented the evidence methodically, communications showing Drew's increasing oversight of Willow's choices, audio where he framed himself as her sole stabilizing force, witness accounts of Willow withdrawing under pressure. But then came the pivot. Martin addressed the judge. The defense acknowledges Miss Tate's own harmful conduct during this period. Murmurs erupted. Willow took the stand. Her voice shook but held. I became dependent on Drew's approval. When I sensed distance, I reacted intensely. I pressured him emotionally. I blurred responsibility. Drew watched, stunned. She continued. That doesn't negate his control, but it shows our dynamic was mutually destructive. The courtroom stilled, rare honesty cutting through litigation theater. Drew's attorney rose cautiously. Miss Tate, are you saying Mr. Kane harmed you intentionally? No. Are you saying you harmed him? Yes. A ripple moved through observers. And yet you filed against him. She met his gaze. Because intent doesn't erase impact. The judge leaned forward, absorbing every word. Drew felt something shift inside him. Not vindication, not defeat. Recognition. She wasn't erasing herself to win. She was telling the truth. Outside, afterwards, Willow stepped into cold sunlight, shoulders trembling from the strain. Willow. She turned. Drew stood a few steps away, expression unreadable. They faced each other, history heavy between them. You told them everything. Yes. You told even what hurt you. Yes. He nodded slowly. That was fair. Her eyes filled. I never wanted this to be war. It wasn't. It was collapse. She almost laughed through tears. We collapsed each other. Yeah. They stood in fragile quiet. Finally, he said, I won't fight to destroy you. She choked. I never wanted to destroy you. I know, he said again, but you might. The call ended with no resolution, only ache. A day later, Willow received an email from Drew. Only one sentence. I will not